What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from Team Generations, back again with another budget deck profile. Today we're going to be looking at a list for Sweetest sister Meer. This is one of the triple rare Vanguards and budget decks out of Twinkle Melody. Really cool strategy, pretty unique. This is actually like a ramp kind of deck, so I know in today's meta kind of we see like, everybody wants to explode on grade 3 and just end the game as quickly as possible. I'm not saying we don't want to end as quickly as possible with this deck, but this kind of provides a strategy to get into the late game and really just exploit your power at that point as opposed to, just in the very beginning. Sweetest sister Meer also gives us the tools that we need to really survive to that late game, so I'll go over that in just a little bit when we get deeper into the profile, but without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, before we begin, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the love that we've been getting so far. All the subs too. Thank you so much. And if you are new to the channel, just checking out for the first time, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button if you learned anything new today, possibly leaving a like on the video. But without further ado, let's jump right into the profile. So we're starting off with 4 of the main boss unit herself. This is Sweetest sister Meer. So skill at the, auto on Vanguard Circle at the beginning of our main phase, we can put a Meer's present into our hand. Its second skill, auto on Vanguard Circle at the beginning of our battle phase, reveal any number of Meer's presents from our hand, and then all of our rear guards get 5,000 until the end of turn for each card revealed. If you revealed 2 or more cards, we get to counterblast 1 and heal a card from our damage zone. Its third skill, act on Vanguard Circle, once per turn, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, call up to 1 card from among them to rearguard circle, and put the rest onto the top of our deck in any order. So a lot to unpack here. Honestly, a really cool card overall. Gaining that Meer's present turn after turn basically means you don't have to like re-ride for like a power gain, because the second skill gives you that additional +5. So by your second turn, you'll have your second grade 3 turn, you'll have that +10 and so on and so forth. So basically becoming just a really threatening field by the late game. And the second part of that second skill, the counterblast 1 to heal a card from our damage zone, really helps us get there and just live a little bit longer, maybe just be able to take a defensive hit just to see if we hit a trigger on our opponent's turn. So honestly, really nice card. I like that aspect to it a lot. And its third skill, the wording is pretty unique because we can look at 2 cards and call up to 1 card from among them to rearguard circle. So we always want a full field. This helps us kind of fill that in a way. And then if it's like 2 trigger units and you don't want to call 1 to field, your field is already full, whatever the case may be, you can then rig them and put them on the top of your deck in any order. So really nice that it says up to 1. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the summary of the card. We're only running this grade 3 in the deck. You don't want to be on anything else. You always want to be on this guy, or this girl, I should say. There we go. Alright, moving into our grade 2s then, we're going to start off with the direct support for Meer. This is Filling Reverie, Petra. Auto on Vanguard Circle, when placed we get to Soul Blast 2. Search our deck for up to 1 Sweetest sister Meer and reveal it, put it into our hand, and shuffle our deck. Its second skill, auto on Rearguard Circle, when it attacks, if your card was put from your damage zone into your drop zone this turn, your opponent cannot call Sentinels to Guardian Circle from their hand for that battle. So putting that guard restrict on there, basically asking you to do Meer's second part of her skill. Really nice. It's easy to get that second part of the skill off by your second grade 3 ride. There's no other way to generate Meer's presence. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure there's no other way. So you do have to be on your second grade 3 turn for that Sentinel restrict to go off, but very nice because you are possibly gaining a ton of power. You could be sitting on Force 2 without Sentinels. You can basically be calling game. Like at a certain point, their hand's going to be so whittled from this deck that you do get that off, and it does become very effective. It's also nice too because I'm just riding it. You Soul Blast 2 and find your Vanguard. That is just such a consistent card, and really enabling you to get on that grade 3 as fast as you can. Start generating those Meer presence with consistency every single turn. So yeah, need to be maxing her out at a 4 of. Next up, we are running an oldie but goldie. We are looking at 4 of Choco Love Heart, Lisolette. So honestly, just a super solid card. It's in pretty much every Bermuda deck, so it's a good investment for the clan overall, and they're super cheap now too. Its skill continues on in hand, actually. It can be called as a grade 1, so on your grade 1 turn, you can actually pop that down. It counts as a grade 1, then it goes right back to grade 2. Its second skill is the main reason we really use it. Auto on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, we get to, when placed, look at the top card of our deck, call it to either Rearguard Circle or put it into our soul. This ability may only be used by a card with the same name once per turn. So what you essentially want to do is combo this either with Aqua or just use it in and of itself. Like, it's good to just fill the fields. You get a free body there. There's no cost really associated with it, kind of plus off of that. Plus you can put things into your soul because the Petra is pretty soul costly, I guess. Like, you know, you have to soul blast 2 out plus the Meer soul blast as well, so you could be looking at an empty soul on your first grade 3 ride. This kind of helps mitigate that in a lot of ways, so very, very effective overall. Moving into our next grade 2 card, as I mentioned, we are running 4 of Top Idol Aqua. So the reason this isn't a budget deck, I don't know the prices, but I know they're pretty cheap in general, but this is a promo version, so there are very cheap alternatives available if you don't want to get the triple rare version. I'm obviously running the promo rare in here. So its skill, on Van or Rearguard Circle, during our turn, if you have another unit in the same column as this unit, this gets an additional 5,000. I'll explain why that's important in a little bit. Its second skill, auto on Van or Rearguard Circle. When placed, we get to return up to one of our other normal cards on our Rearguard Circle to our hand, and if you return a card, draw a card, and discard a card from your hand. This ability may only be used by a card with the same name once per turn. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, a little bit hard to read at night. This is a really, really great card, and you can also combo it with Lieselette. So let's say you're on your first grade 1, you know, obviously you're on your grade 1 turn, you called on Lieselette, you pop another body, you know, it's your second turn, you ride her, you can pop that Lieselette back to your hand, pop her down, get another body, soul charge, whatever is really good for you. So I feel like if you have both of these cards, your resource generation puts you in like a really good spot for the rest of the game, just very powerful overall, and applies a lot of early game pressure. On top of that, the you know, just the draw power, the filtering from your hand is very, very effective. The first skill is cool because if you have this in a, you know, let's say a rearguard column, and your opponent hits a defensive trigger, and you're playing a grade 3, you know, they're on their grade 3 Force Vanguard, so they have 13k body. This essentially gets over a trigger and still pressures for a hit because it's going to be a 23k boosted by an 8k, so that's 15 on here because another thing is in the column. Vanilla 8k boosting, that becomes 23, so still pressuring for that hit, which is really, really nice, so you're not afraid to swing second with this. So yeah, very solid card, running that at a 4 of. Alright, starting off with our grade 1s then. We were looking to ride Meer every single turn, looking for maximum consistency, so as such, we were running the grade 3 Searcher. This is Mermaid Idol Sedna. Again, this is a promo rare, so that's why I am including a grade 3 Searcher in the budget deck. I think the prices right now are really cheap, not sure what they're going to be when you watch this video, so anyway, on to the skill of the card. On Van or Rearguard Circle, during your turn, if you have another unit in the same column as this card, it gets an additional 5,000, so very easy criteria to hit there, not too bad at all. And this is the standard V Premium or standard grade 3 Searcher, so you look one place from hand, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add a grade 3 to hand, and then drop a card if you added one, so a little bit of filter there. And again, we just want to be on Meer every single turn, so this is the way to pretty much ensure maximum consistency. Nothing too crazy there. Moving on then to the next grade 1. So like I said, we're really looking to, like, I guess, get into the late game and just be bulky and be able to survive, and as such, I think this card is really, really good for doing that. This is going to be Mermaid Idol Ellie. So her skill on a Van or Rearguard Circle, when it attacks or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, we get to search our deck for up to 1 Mermaid Idol Ellie, reveal it, and put it into our hand. And if we did, we get to shuffle our deck. If you put a card into your hand and this unit is on Rearguard Circle, we get to retire this unit. Its second skill, auto on Guardian Circle, when placed, we get to cost put a Mermaid Idol Ellie from our drop zone onto the bottom of our deck, and this unit gets an additional 10,000 shield until the end of turn. So very effective because it is that 20k body. You basically filter and recycle these over and over. I find that it's just a really nice extra little guard right there. So, and it still has that 8k base, so it's not bad at all, and still has that Vanguard. It's not a bad ride, Vanguard ability. So yeah, really helps us survive a little bit longer. I think it's definitely like an underrated card. See a lot of people cut it from their decks, but I think in this build it definitely fits. Moving on to our next grade 1 then, this is an oldie but goldie. We are still running 4 special message Aurora. So skill on Van or Rearguard Circle, when placed we get to draw a card and then discard a card from our hand. This ability may only be used by a card with the same name once per turn, so nice because you get to actually draw before you drop. A lot of people drop before they draw these days, so this card I think, you know, was kind of pre everybody getting that, so definitely a nice card just to filter and get that Meer a little bit quicker if you don't have one in your hand. So yeah, I'm running that at a 4 of, just for consistency reasons. You can also run that the Radka. I think if you don't want to run her, you can run the Radka. I just like the bodies on board. Radka, you run the risk of getting a trigger, like 2 triggers off the top, and you know, you don't want to add one of those to your hand and then call another to the board, whatever the case may be, honestly. Alright, moving on then to, I guess I should have maybe almost opened up with this one, but definitely didn't save the worst for last. This is definitely the star of the board towards the end of the game. This is Poppy Smile Haiga. Haiga, right? That's what it says. Yeah, Haiga, yep. Continues on Rearguard Circle. If you received a Meer's Present from hand this turn, this unit gets an additional 5,000. Revealed a Meer's Present, I'm sorry. And then a skill on Rearguard Circle, second skill. When the attack or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, we get to counterblast one and draw a card. So applying that on-hit pressure, just getting that extra little boost that it needs. So on your first grade 3 ride, this will actually be an 18k boost, which is really, really nice. So just helping you hit those power thresholds, helping you get a little bit further in the game. And with that on-hit pressure, that second skill, counterblast one, draw a card, super solid, just getting more cards to your hand, letting you survive a little bit later in the game. And then moving on to our final grade 1 then, this is going to be Equable Career Spiana? Yeah, Spiana, sorry. Auto on Rearguard Circle. When placed, you may return a card with the same card name as your grade 3 card on your ban or Rearguard Circle from your drop zone to your deck. If you returned a card, shuffle your deck and countercharge 1. So countercharging is really nice in the deck. Also, Meer Soul Blast quite a bit, so not quite a bit, but it does Soul Blast, so you can get, if you wrote it out, get another copy into the drop zone, get her off, get that counter charge off. It's nice just as a one-of tech. There's a lot of different things you can do. You can kind of up this card if you really want to, maybe drop something else like the Aurora or whatever, but I think this deck is definitely grade 1 heavy just because we were looking to survive for a while. And then onto our triggers finally. Where did I put those? Sorry. There we go. Onto our trigger lineup, nothing too crazy here, a little bit different than the standard. I am running, I believe, what is it, 6 crit, 6 heal, I'm sorry, 6 draw, and 4 heal. So I'm actually running the 6 draw just because, like I keep mentioning, we are looking to survive as long as we can into the game. The draws kind of help in the early game for sure. I think these draw sentinels are just correct as well, just provide a sure blanket protection for a lot of the big swinging decks these days, obviously a starter as well, but I'm finding that draws do work. If you want to just, do like a standard 4-4-8, that's fine as well. If you want to up the draws, go for it if you want to make this last as long as you can, but I think the overall given pressure of a crit trigger is just too much to pass up on to give this guy like a full 4. So cool, thank you guys so much for watching so far. Again, if you did learn anything, maybe just leave a like on the video, possibly subscribe to the channel, but let's get into a test hand. I'll show you guys how the deck kind of works. Alright, let us shuffle up over here. Just really quickly too, I want to mention that I am actually proxying the grade 3 searcher. I flipped a card upside down. Yep, here we go, as you guys can see over here. Just because I didn't want to swap the playsets in between some of these sleeves for the time being. I think I still have like 1 or 2 playsets on the way, but I'm trying to get enough for all my decks just to not swap in between. Like, I really don't want to be doing that all the time. Alright, I think this deck is really interesting too because you can go Force 1 or Force 2. It's not like a hard, like, you need to be doing this because the deck does ramp really well. You get that power gain every single turn, so you are able to apply really big pressure Force 2 by the end of the game, but at the same time too, I feel like Force 1 definitely helps you accelerate your game plan in the early game. It's really up to you. You have to feel out the situation, see what is really going on. So not a bad thing overall. I think I'm gonna return 1, 2. Yeah, ride her, can hit with her, whatever the case may be. But yeah, let's do that actually. So I'm going to return the Ellie because we have one already in our hand, and then I'm going to put back the extra draw trigger, and we get 1 and 2. Not too bad. Okay, very cool, very cool. I'm gonna hang on to her. All right, so let's shuffle up again, and then we're going to start our turn. We're gonna just pretend we go first as we do in all of our little test hand videos. All right. I think a lot of people, aren't really focusing on this deck. I understand why, but it's a really fun deck. I think people definitely should give it a shot. So we're going to stand and draw for turn. All right, now what are we gonna do? We have a lot of different options here, honestly. Yeah, let's do the grade 3 searcher. Just because we don't have, I have 2 of her in hand. Yeah, we don't have our grade 3, obviously, so I'm going to draw off of the ride, and then I'm going to draw for 5. I'm sorry, not draw. I'm going to search top 5. We did find the Meer. Very nice. So that is very, very good. We won't be SOL by our first grade 3 ride, so let's do it. Okay. We're going to, do we have to dig deeper? Not really. I'm going to use her by the second turn to pressure so they get the on hit and get her into the drop just to have that whole little 20k shield combo going. But yeah, all right, let's proceed to our opponent's turn. Let's say we take a damage for their turn. Oof, damage to Meer, but no big deal. Going to stand and draw. All right, very good. Let's see. What do I want to do? It's not really on place effects that I want to get off right now, but let's just use, do I want to Soul Blast 2 for her? Yeah, deck thinning is deck winning. I'm going to ride her on my Vanguard circle, I'm going to then Soul Blast 2. 1, 2. And I'm going to search my deck for Meer, put 1 into my hand. This is good because you do want to, like I said, ramp every single turn, and this ride consistency is essential for it. Like if you miss a ride, your opponent might just get ahead of you. Like that might be the unlucky break that you get. Alright. Let's see, nothing really else to kind of go on crazy with, but let's see. Let's do this. Let's call down an Aurora. We're going to use Aurora's skill. We're going to draw a card, then discard a card from our hand. I kind of want to keep the grade 2, so let me actually discard her from hand. I'm going to then pop down. Let's pop down her. Yeah, let's pop her. And let's get her to hand. And we're going to draw a card, and then we're going to ditch a card. So I don't really need the Aurora anymore. Yeah, let's do that. And I'm not going to do this really deeper. I can hold this hand right now. I think we apply enough pressure overall. So let us open up with our Vanguard, just because I want to apply pressure here. And if, you know, let's say they do hit a trigger, whatever the case may be, it might just be easier to guard. They might not want to guard or not want to let this guy in. So I do want to get that second one. So we're going to swing on the Vanguard first. Boom, draw a trigger, power, draw. Very nice. All right. We're going to then swing 20k. All right, over to our opponent then. We're going to go 1 and 2. All right, very good. And then we are going, oh, I'm sorry, that was our second grade 2. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to stand and draw. All right, got another Aqua, damn. All right, going to ride the Meer. Let's see, what do I want to do? I got a nice little hand. I think I could survive a decent amount of turn. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even search out for the Ellie. I should have done that, sorry. And add 1 to the drop, add 1 to my hand. Let's just say that's how that worked out. I know you're technically supposed to bring the one from the deck, but whatever. Still ended up in the same places. I am sorry. Alright, over to us now. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get a Meer present. I'm going to put that in our hand, so everything will get at least +5. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pop the top idle Aqua down. I'm actually going to pop her. 2 hand, draw a card, and then I'm going to ditch a card. I'm going to ditch the Aqua just because I don't really need it. Let us get the Sweetest Sister Meer. Let's put that here. Oh, I'm sorry, where am I going to put the force marker? What kind of force marker do I want here is the big question. Let's just go force 2 because we're going to assume that we're just going to get into the late game just because our hand size is pretty nice. We have a couple different triggers in here and things that can give us nice, nice shield value. So let's do that. I ditched the Aqua off of that after I drew. Very cool. I'm not going to use its skill, but I'm going to pop that down. I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to hold this one in my hand for now. Now let's do that actually. Special message Aurora, draw a card, drop a card. I'm going to drop her. Going to call her. Yeah, good. Good enough shield value in my hand for next turn. All right, cool. So I'm going to enter battle phase. I have 5k across the board, so 10k to each column. And then I'm not going to enter battle yet, sorry. I'm going to counter blast 1, soul blast 1, and look at the top 2 cards of my deck. 1 and 2, call up to 2. I don't think so. I'm going to put the crit on top. Obviously, I don't want to draw the crit away, so then we're going to open up. So this is going to be 10, so this is 23 plus 8, that is 31, right? Yeah. So I'm going to open up with my Vanguard swing, 31. I wonder what we're going to get. We're going to get 1 and 2. You know, power wherever, draw. That's the only thing. If you put 2 back on top of the deck, you kind of telegraph the fact that you are going to have 2 triggers there. So your opponent will kind of be tipped off. But at the same time, you can bluff that too. Like if you bluff, put 2 on, they might dump a little bit too much out of hand. So I know this is early in the game, but even still. All right, over to this guy. This is going to be 5, 10. This is going to be 20, 20 plus, what is that, 20 plus 13, right? Yeah, it's 33. Right, this is 15. Because another column, yeah, 15, 5, 23, plus 3, yeah, that's 23, all right, 33. Same deal here, except this guy gets an extra plus 5, so this is gonna be 38, right? 15 from its own skill, 5 from Meer. This is going to be 18, so this is, yeah, 23 plus, no, this is 20 plus, yeah, this is 38, yeah, 38. So on that Force 2, 38, you know, you could have put the extra trigger on there too, very, very effective. But overall, I mean, this is really the game plan. Like, look how many triggers I have in my hand. I drew out a lot. I filtered for things. I can rig that top. I feel like you got a good spattering everything. Even though my play was a little sloppy, I'm sorry, it's really late in the morning here. But this is the overall playstyle of the deck. Ride every single turn, get another, you know, marker, you know, over and over. This is just kind of what you want to do. If you hit with the L, you get another one out, put them to drop. Just survivability, long-term games, what you're trying to play. If you are able to ramp, maybe go that Force 2. If you just want to kind of push for game a little bit earlier, maybe get that Force 1. Accelerates your strategy. You can rely off triggers to get that extra crit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys do enjoy and try this deck out. It is a lot of fun. This is Alex from Team Generations signing out.